Welcome back. With me right now is Stuart Spencer of Advanced Ear Care, and a lot of good things we're going to talk about today. Over the years, we've seen this rapid technology in everything we do, but hearing aids have really come a long way to the point that they do more than what they're intended to do, meaning they help you with other things beyond just hearing.
Yeah, it's becoming pretty remarkable. When these hearables, we call them, came out, originally, we thought, hey, that's great. Just the fundamental sound quality was really just top notch, better than anything we'd had. We always look for improvements in speech clarity. But, now, since people have started wearing them and we've started living into teaching people how to use the hearing aids for a lot more than just their hearing, it's really kind of catching on. And the people are getting really excited about it. There are so many different aspects to how we help people. One of them, of course, is, one of the things we always hear with people that can't hear is, they're at the, Thanksgiving dinner, whatever.
Right.
And, they're off in another room because they can't hear the conversations. They can't identify with what people are saying. They feel kind of embarrassed or almost ignorant at times because they're not responding right.
Right.
So they'd rather not have that kind of frustration. So, they're kind of isolated, and that creates a sort of loneliness. Loneliness is one of the biggest killers there is, right?
Right.
Especially for the heart, right? So with this, the hearing aids monitor how active people are, how many different kind of listening environments they get into, how long they're wearing their hearing aids, how much they're hearing on a daily basis, and actually gives them a score, right, for their brain activity, they call it. On the other side of that is, whose doctor hasn't told them they need to exercise more?
Yeah.
Mine included, right? So, these hearing systems monitor your steps you take every day and how active you are, how much you're in motion, for that period of day. So for instance, last week, Saturday, I went on a walk, 6 miles. It's like 12,000 steps, right?
Yeah.
And so the goal on my phone is for 10,000 steps a day. There's many days I'm short of that. That's like a 5-mile goal.
Right.
But, it's pretty darn accurate. The week before that, I went on an 8-mile hike. It was like 16,000 steps. So it really does monitor how active people are. And during the hike, it shows I'm really active. Then the other days, I'm moving around just doing regular chores and errands.
So this all comes up on an app?
It all comes up on an app on your phone. So you can look at that and you can kind of watch, what the trends are over, day to day. You get a whole history of it. So besides just wearing a hearing system and just hearing really better, it helps a lot.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Now this one is called VIA Artificial Intelligence Hearing Systems.
That's right.
And I would imagine this is like the top of the line.
It's a top of the line kind of system, and it's the only artificial intelligence hearing system that's out there today.
Wow. So
what they keep doing is they just keep adding to it and adding to it and adding to it. And it's just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're going to do this, And so, one of the other aspects is the fall alert.
Yes. Yeah.
And so if someone falls, it automatically sends out a text message to up to 3 designated contacts. And then there's like a 90-second time period, and they can respond back. And if the person that fell doesn't respond, it geotags where they're at. So the person knows where to send help, or they can go over next door, right, to a neighbor and make sure they're okay. Who in the audience hasn't been afraid of falling, right? That's a scary thing.
Yeah.
For a lot of our, and we have a lot of patients come in and say, I fell, now they're with a walker or a cane or, and it's like, oh my gosh, don't do that, So
that's
this is
amazing.
kind of a thing that just lives into their lifestyle.
Now the other thing is a speech translation.
Yes. So this is an amazing deal. Everybody, you say, it has speech translation up to 27 different languages. So everybody always thinks, okay, well, I can use that when I travel. that's where their mind goes. But no, how many languages do we have right here in Southern California? Like a zillion, right? So we have a guy last week, walks in the door, and he speaks Mandarin. Who does that, right?
Yeah.
And he's alone, I'm like, oh my gosh. So I go get my phone, and I put the translator on English to Chinese, right? So I talk to him, whoop, there comes just a whole bunch of Chinese characters, right? So he reads it, he's like, oh, okay. So I hand him the paperwork, he fills it out, you know, and so we're going through this translation process. And so when he speaks in Mandarin, I'm hearing it in English in my hearing aids.
Wow.
It's like blew my mind,
Yeah.
right? Now I've done like the Spanish English thing. I don't know why this was any different. It's just a different language. But to see all the Chinese on the screen, it was really a lot of fun. Now, you know, it wasn't like the perfect conversation.
Right.
But, you know,
Yeah.
we got through it all.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the hearing test, you know, he was going clear, clear. You know, you could hear so much better.
Yeah.
And so we called his daughter, and she translated everything else for us. I was like, wow. You know,
That's
I
amazing.
mean, that's a hearing system,
Yeah.
right? That's
Yeah.
not, you know, anything. That's just an additional feature of our hearing systems that help people to hear better.
Now, let me ask you, because it's utilizing all this, how's the battery life on these?
It's hardly even touched. you
Okay.
know? The one thing that we see where battery drain does take a little bit more, here's another, you know, feature. So a lady comes in and she's wearing, you know, like our top line hearing aids. She wants these hearing aids, but she wants to be able to stream her audiobooks, right? So in her hearing aids, and she wants to watch her Netflix stuff off of her laptop, her iPad, her MacBook Pro. And so we figure out how to do that, you know, with one solution for her MacBook Pro. So now she can watch Netflix without having the speaker on while her husband's in bed, you know, so he
Yeah.
can go to sleep and she can watch her movies or programs or whatever. And with the audio thing, she could hear the audiobooks, but the car noise was too loud, right? So I went in there and programmed it so we turned her microphones off when she's listening to the audiobooks. So now she can stream the audiobooks, hear perfectly,
Wow.
and not be drowned out by the car noise.
Yeah.
It was like,
That's
whoa,
amazing.
You know? So, you know, and you know, we can do all this programming just for better hearing as
Yeah.
well. You know, and incredible
Wow.
hearing systems.
Now, this is obviously the top of the line,
Yes.
so it's going to be a little bit pricier than others, but there's all different price points, right?
All different price points. You know, that's the state-of-the-art AI. Under that still comes all the hearing clarity anybody could ever ask
Yeah.
for in a lot of different models at a zillion different price points.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you brought along a magazine. I don't know if we're going to have
Yes.
the
Oh,
picture,
this
but
is
if not,
fun.
we'll have it next
Sure.
time. But let's hold it up and let's
All right.
show the photo here of your mom.
Yep.
So this is a professional,
So-
for your profession, obviously.
Yep, so it's called the Hearing Professional. So it has a photo here. It says Legacy Member Pat Manhart, BCHIS, Profile of Hearing Industry Pioneer. So and here's my mom, right? And so, you know, here's my sister and my mom, and then it goes on to have one of our first bosses, and of course, you know, yours truly here. And then my mom and stepdad on a mission, and my mom getting an award here from the convention itself. But basically, you know, just talking about, she was a pioneer in the industry.
Yeah.
You know, women weren't really business owners back then, and this was in the late 50s. And, you know, she jumped in, didn't know much about the business,
Yeah.
but has become really an icon in the industry. So it's just fun to see her get some recognition.
So it's really part of your legacy.
It's part of our legacy, that's for sure.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
Really good. So if people are interested, you know, the first thing is coming over there, and maybe they've never had a hearing aid, maybe their hearing's okay.
Yep.
You know, to come over there and just get a hearing test, you know, see where you're at. They might be fine. They
Yeah.
may not be.
You know, we have people come in like that all the time. You know, like, hey, it just seems like it's just not
Yeah.
quite as sharp as it used to be. And I'm kind of worried about it because I
Right.
hear, you know, there's the Alzheimer's dementia connection if
Right,
you wait too
right.
long. And so we test their hearing and say, you know what, your hearing has gone down just a little bit, but you're not a candidate for any kind of hearing help
Yeah,
right
because
now.
going your hearing
But now we have
coming
a
down
baseline,
is normal.
So we tell
right?
them, come back in a year,
Yeah.
and then we'll just screen it again, and we'll watch and see if it
Okay.
moves, you know. And they're like, oh, thanks. You know, they've got to look in their ears, you know, they like
Mm-hmm.
that. And, you know, I mean, so it's a really easy, very simple kind of process.
Yeah, I got to get over and do that.
I know,
one day.
we're going to do it. You know,
Yeah.
let's do a whole thing on that. I
All
think that'd
right.
be fun.
Always good to see you.
Great.
No, I got a cold.
Oh, that's right.
We're going to do that.
Thank you so much.
You take care, and great family legacy.
Thank you.
Really. And, you know, we saw the shot that it's all done over there. It looks nice and
Oh.
looking good.
Oh, everything's really improved so much. And if somebody wants to come over today, we have a special event for the next 3 days. We can do their hearing test.
All right, very good. Information's on the screen, and we'll see you in about a month.
Great. Thanks,
You
Ken.
take care. We'll
Uh-huh.
be back.